Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? And a very happy Saturday to you. I hope you're having time off work. If you're not, there'll be a day soon. But if you're having a nice day off, this is going to be a wee bit of a drawn-out one, because I want to talk about a certain thing. Well, first of all, I have to do it now. For those people out there that are worried that other people get knives for free and then become shills all of a sudden, I'm not. I get mine for free, and I tell you what I think of them, as I always have done. And if I don't like it, for some particular reason, if it doesn't suit me, I'll tell you. But if I really don't like it, it'll not be on my bloody show, because these are knives that I like. So I'm doing a Rosecraft. A lot of arguments about Rosecraft going back and forward. Do you want to know something? What I think it is? They're just so flipping good. And for the price. Everybody wants to blame, China for the price. They're making them, I'm buying them. Or in this case, I'm getting them for nothing. And I'm really glad to be getting them from nothing. These are beautiful. They come in a lovely box. You've seen them. The box is not really important to me, but that's a nice box. Everybody shows them. I'm not going to. This is another excuse to use a beautiful slip from MJ Hoods here in the UK. Beautiful leather work done by this boy. Does leather hoods for birds of prey, eagles, falcons, things like that. So he has a vast expertise, and this is just a sideline. And my God, is it a beautiful? I'm so glad he took this sideline up. These are amazing value for money. So what am I going to show you? I'm going to show you the Rosecraft. And you know the way I threw that box over there? I can't remember what it's called again. This is the Rosecraft Otter Creek Barlow. This has put me in a quandary, because I'd sort of decided which Rosecraft would be my, I'm going to say budget, because it is in my budget, 50 to 60 pound they are. 50 to 60, 60 a plus. But this one's about 59 pounds, say 60 quid. Doesn't matter. Just look at that, can you? Just look at that. This is sandalwood again, but it's completely different. I mean, I've got, different sandalwoods, and they all look different. This is by far the prettiest to me. I just think it is beautiful. I'll bring that up closer and let you see it. The grain in the wood, the different colours of the wood, and then the back takes on another beautifully coloured. And it's just stunning, stunning. For £60 you can get a knife with this sort of wood covers. I just think it is beautiful. Look at the fit and finish on that. You can see that blade right up the centre, like most of them do. And if they're off by about 1 millimetre. And that's when you've got a bad one. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Their fit and finish standard is phenomenal. Lovely, nearly a rat's tail lined bolster there. Fit and finish on this is absolutely amazing, faultless. For a £60 knife, this is completely faultless. That's it. And if the blade had been off a bit, it still would have been completely faultless. It's in D2 steel. It has the most beautiful bolster, and it has the paw print on there, the bear print. Isn't that just so unusual? Yeah, I love it. I absolutely, I love Barlows with something on them. So this just hit me smack up the face. This has jumped in the lead. And I'll probably talk a bit more about that tomorrow. I'll leave it for today, because I'm going to do another one on comparing Rosecrafts to other knives. And what's the difference? Why do you need to spend more? Well, nobody needs to spend more. But I just want to show the quality of them against other knives. Now, I've used my Rosecraft knives because they're just super users. They're fantastic. They come sharp. Go figure, a knife coming sharp. How many companies can we say that? This is sharp. It has a lovely deep nail nick here for lifting this out. It's about I'll go for a 6, because the nail nick's back here on that, you've got that fulcrum. So you're up near the bolster. So about a 6. Absolutely perfect. Listen to that. That is flipping gorgeous. That echoes around my room here. Look at that for a clip point blade. £60, my new £60. Look at that for a clip point blade. Is that not just beautiful? I'm a clip point lover as well, so I got a Barlow and I got a clip point. I'm in absolute heaven. Look at that swedge on there. That nail nick is perfectly done. You can get your nail into it. Doesn't slide off. On the other side, it has an equally beautiful swedge, which if you look there, look how good that swedging is. Look how neat and tidy that comes down to a point. It's not a needle point, but it's a real good point. Excuse me. Look at the fit and finish down that back spring. Come on. Just look at that. Look at that. And that bolster again with a nice, it's just, honestly, the wood, everything on this is completely smooth. The first thing you feel is that hollow there. That's the first thing you feel. It's beautiful. Inside it, let me just show you inside this. This is sparkling. Absolutely sparkling. And if that's not attention to detail in a £60 Chinese knife, I think they're amazing. I think what they're doing is amazing to the knife world. Politics, I'm not into. But as knife makers, they are doing an amazing job. Whoever's running that factory is definitely on the point with what people want. A nice clean knife. Even on the inside, it's clean. I don't feel any raspiness when I'm opening and closing that blade. This is the second day I've had this. It's just beautiful. The difference between this and a modern, a normal traditional knife, this is a modern traditional knife, it has the pin. It doesn't use the kick to stop it hitting the back of the this is Paddy, isn't it? All the time. The spring. Couldn't think of spring. So it uses that little pin in there and it rests in there. And it's just fantastic. Would I prefer it having the kick? Yes, because I'm really a traditionalist. But £60. Let me just talk about this. This is £60. I've slapped that down. Look at that. Absolutely beautifully up the middle. Just stunning. Everything is polished. Everything is beautifully put together. And that's where I'm going to stop talking about this knife, because it is perfect, in my opinion. Now, that's not being a shill for a £60 knife, but it is genuinely. If you're going out to buy a knife and you want a Barlow like me with something on the bolster, you want a decent blade steel, you want nice wood, you ain't going to beat this. I'm sorry. There's nobody beating this at the minute. Absolutely nobody. It is first class. I just think it's amazing. And I'm now going to show a few different Barlows, just to let you see what this is sort of up against. Here is its nearest rival in the price range, and this is the Rough Rider Reserve Barlow. Again, a nice Barlow, a little smaller. This is about 3 5/8. This one's just under 3.5, I think. It's not much different, but let's open and close this. Not as nice, bit flimsy, not as exact as this, and I'll just show you that so you can hear it. I just want to let you hear this one close. It's just bolt. It really is volt. Blades are nice. This is a beautiful blade. I love this blade. This one's in my Carta. Got a nice shield here. Nothing on the blade. Doesn't really matter to me. This is a beautiful Barlow. This is a very, very good Barlow. The only thing I'm not keen on is it's not as, it closes fine, but here's another difference that I'll show you in this Barlow, and this is what I like about this Barlow. This is a Chinese made Barlow as well. It's got brass liners. I love brass liners, but not always. And I'm going to show you another knife that's, a higher price knife that has these, but brass liners, I just think finishes a knife. I just love them for some reason. But one of my favourite knives doesn't have them. And that is the boy's knife, the number 15 pattern. This is the TC Barlow, the one that everybody wants, a TC Barlow. And look at the difference between these two. Now, granted, this one's a little bit thinner, but it's not as much as you would have thought. If I put these up together here, there's not as much as you would think. There you go. Not much at all. but it is thinner and a bit lighter. But again, not by much. Not that I'll notice in my pocket, to be honest with you. But it has all steel, all stainless steel, the same as this has. This has D2, the same as this. They're both about the same thickness behind the edge, and I've just been going by feel, that's it. Double ring bolster. This is a fantastic Barlow, but it just falls short on a couple of points that this one doesn't. The fit and finish on this is honestly almost flawless. Again, for that price range, the blades up the center are as good as. It really is a super, super knife. But Rough Rider Reserve are not keeping up the standard that Rosecraft are, in my opinion. And all these opinions, no matter who's doing the review, it's their own opinion. Never take one person's opinion, unless it's somebody you trust. And that's it. Just watch as many as you can. If you're going to buy a knife on the basis of somebody else telling you it's good, watch as many as you can. See what the flaws are. I can't tell you a flaw on this. Somebody else might have one. I can't. There's no flaw on this for me. It's a perfect knife. There's very little flaw on this. The lockup is not quite as good as the Rosecrafts are. So we'll put that there. So a Rosecraft is this one's about 60 quid. What can I bring in that's a bit cheaper than that? And yet I would say it's a good buy as well. Well, here you are. There's a British Barlow. There's an Arthur Wright & Son Barlow. Beautiful knife. Fit and finish. Absolutely, really, really good on this one. Really good. Are they all like that? No, some of them have little flaws. These are 40 quid. That lockup is, that lockup is beautiful. The blade on this, now I'm going to tell you, I love this blade. But you can see the difference between blades. That is two beautiful knives. And the way it cants down the way, this does the same. And I think that's why I like it so much, because Arthur Wright is my favourite Barlow. It's just beautiful. A smaller swedge, but like a deeper swedge into the knife, which I just think is beautiful. But let me tell you, I'm bowled over by this clip point. I think it is stunning. I genuinely think it is stunning. And this one's in wood as well. Rosewood, not as flamboyant as this sandalwood is, but it's still a beautiful knife. And it's only 40 quid. It hasn't got the good blade steel. This just has a high carbon. This is C75 or somewhere around that, whereas this is D2. So there's a better blade. That's what you're getting. It also has a nicer done bolster. This is very basic, but, it's got brass pins. It just looks lovely. It looks absolutely lovely. And it's got brass liners, the thing that I do like on penknives. So another great choice. If you want that, it's cheaper than this. But now I'm going to start going up. I had my GEC out. You can see the difference in thickness between this and this. This is a boy's knife, and you can see this is a man's knife. But the boy's knife is one of my favourite knives to use and have in my pocket. It's slim, it's got good materials on it. This is 1095. It's just everything going for it. I love the bolster on it. I love the fit and finish I get. I love look at that, right up the centre. Beautiful. A little bit slimmer in the liners and the back spring, and it just makes it a little bit slimmer looking. Can you see that? It's a little bit slimmer, so it is a boy's knife size. So there's an Ashley Harrison Barlow. Different again. Over in the UK, we tend to have smaller bolsters on some of our knives. And again, I'm going to show you that there. This is one of Ashley's, the basic Barlows from Ashley. That was my first ever custom knife. Sorry, this knife is a user. It's just an absolute monster of a knife. This is in 01 tool steel. All I've ever really had to do to this is strop it. And it just keeps going. Just keeps going. Beautiful knife. I absolutely love it. But it's the same size and it's the same thickness. So whereas this looks thick against, if you put it with a slim little boy's knife, it is going to look a bit thicker. This is a little bit bigger than the boy's knife. This is about 3 5/8. I think I said that. So what am I paying for in this? I'm paid for the fact that I asked for everything that was in this knife. I gave Ashley carte blanche in, adding his little bit of flair. I got a nice finger groove because that's what I wanted in there. I got the sheep's foot, which is what I wanted at the time. And I just love this, the fit and finish. And again, brass liners really does stick out for me. I do like that on my knives, especially custom knives. I don't think I've got many custom knives that haven't got it. And I love the walk and talk in this. I mean, this is just, it's bank vault. Just a beautiful working knife in lovely bone. But if you want to put something like this, it's got the bolster and a British knife. And again, I'm making no apologies. This is an Ashley Harrison custom knife, which I asked for the big bolster. And look at that. He's got the Ashley Harrison insignia on there, Arthur Wright & Son. And I'm going to open this up, and again you're going to see a clip point that will challenge this one for looks. Look at that. They're really, really similar, except with the Arthur Wright sort of turns up just a bit here. It comes down shallower on the blade. You see the way this is sort of way up there. This one comes down shallower and gives a more aggressive look probably. But there we are, the Barlow's the same. The handle thickness is much the same. There's not much difference between the two of them. This is in beautiful walnut. This is in beautiful sandalwood. But the things that I've got on this one is I love the bolster. I love Ashley has a stamp in it. He does the fancy back spine for me. Now, this will be twice the price. Well, more than twice the price of this. But this is handmade for me with my specifications and Ashley's flair for making knives. I just tell him what I want, and then he designs it around my spoken word. I don't send drawings or anything. It's up to him. I trust him completely now because I've built up a relationship with him. This is my favourite Barlow, in my collection. It is just a super, super Barlow. Absolutely adore it. But again, I always like with the British bolsters, they have a flared out bottom. That bulbous end on it just makes it so comfortable in hand. And with all Ashley's knives, they're all a good sturdy knife. And this is what this is. This is a good sturdy knife. This is going to be a work knife every bit as much. And this is not a work knife, but it's a knife I use. But I mean, this is a work knife as well. But this one is twice the price of that. And a work knife, but I just love the fact that I have this done. This is done by, I designed, or I told him what I wanted down to the very shield, everything. And it was done. So there's not a huge amount of difference. Here's a case Barlow. I just want to put it. It's down. I mean, this is even smaller than a boy's knife. But it's a lovely Barlow by case. And it's going to cost you probably a little bit more than this. Here's a Boker Barlow, which is, going to cost you a little bit more than that. Beautiful Barlows, but just that little bit smaller. Now, the difference in, this is another clip point. Look at the difference in that clip point to a Boker. A Boker's clip point are always quite plain. You very rarely would get a swedge. They might knock the edges off a little bit, but they are a very basic boy's knife, carry. There's no sort of flashy bits on them. You also have the badge down here. But putting this beside it, look at the difference in them two blades. This is a proper, genuine work knife. This is a full carry for me. This would be a secondary EDC. This would probably be a secondary EDC as well. Do you know what I mean? But I mean, they've got, this is 01, is it 01 tool steel, I think, on this one? Let me just check. Yeah, 01 tool steel on this one. And this is just case. This one's in their stainless steel. Beautiful Barlows. But this Barlow here can match them for looks. Yeah, because this is just a smashing looking Barlow. I can't tell you how much this looks, how good this looks. See, when you take this out in the light, this lighter part nearly glows. It's just full of movement in there. It is gorgeous out in the daylight. Really beautiful. I love this. And here's my Ashley. Is there a huge difference in these two? Yes, in the construction, the way they're built. This is traditionally made. Most of it's all done by hand. This is mostly all done by machine. But there is a lot of hands-on touches on them. There is a lot of hands-on touches. There's no doubt about it. You couldn't make this sort of a knife without hands-on touches because it's pin construction. The hafting that goes into it, it's just beautiful. But you know, this has been my really top of the end, what I love in a Barlow. Everything I love in a Barlow is this. But to be honest with you, for 60 quid, this is on the way up there. That's how good I think they are. This is as just a penny, going out and buying a knife that you just want an everyday knife to carry. This one has the looks, the class of a much dearer knife. And I'm so pleased, I say this every time, that Andy has kept the prices, where he can make a profit, the company can make a profit, and we get to buy this sort of knife that has got a classic look. All right, a couple of little modern interpretations in it, but I find them totally unbelievable. I've never been, and it's not as if it's just been one knife. And in fact, I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to do a video talking about, I picked 5 of the Rosecraft and I put them against 5 other knives of a higher value. Just so you see that there's not that much difference. But when you're a collector, that little bit of difference does mean a whole lot. And that's the difference between a collector and somebody who is a YouTube reviewer. If you're not collecting a lot of your knives, I like collecting knives. So when I buy my more expensive knives, it's because I want to spend that little bit of money to get the things that really give me the fizz. And we're all different. What gives me the fizz mightn't give you the fizz at all. Might leave you flaccid. But that's okay. We can all be a little bit different, and that's the joy in it. And don't worry if somebody gets a knife for nothing to show you. You're getting to see the knife without having to pay for it. If you're not too sure on the person, go and watch somebody else. Pick somebody you trust. A dealer, a reviewer that you have watched, and you've picked something that he's reviewed before and he's told you the right thing about the knife. That's how it counts. I can't tell people how good looking a knife is for them. I can only tell you that I think this is this is the nicest Rosecraft yet. Definitely. And I was going to say by far, but it's not by far. Because you'll see some of the ones that I've got over here for tomorrow's video. But it is the best so far for me, because I love Barlows, I love wood, I love something on the bolster, and I love a clip point. And this is just stupendously beautiful to me. I think they've hit every single mark at a price most people can have or you can save for. And if you're going to be collecting knives, you definitely will need to save a bit of money. And if you're only saving up for the basic ones, miss 1 week out, miss 1 month out, whatever it takes, and the next month buy one of these for 60, because you will not regret it. And this will do you for as long as you want, basically. As long as you look after it, take care of it, this will last you for years upon years. The D2 is well heat treated. I've used them, so many of them now, that I have no problems with it. None whatsoever. Do they rust in my climate in Northern Ireland? No, they haven't. And we've had nothing but rain, dampness all summer. And I've had them out. I've not come across any little black spots at all. Not that it would matter to me in the slightest. It's just part of the character to the knife. I love it. This is just blowing me away. Just Andy and the crew over there at Rosecraft, I thank you very much for having this for nothing. I really genuinely appreciate that. But I also appreciate the people who have watched me for over the years and the new people that are coming along. And I hope they'll trust in what I'm saying is exactly what I'm saying about this knife. And it can only be about this very knife. I can't tell you what everybody else is going to be like. That's why I watch the videos of other people, to make sure that, well, not to make sure, to verify what I'm saying is correct. And so far, every video I've had of these has said exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. But the little tweaks that's in this knife just fit my eye. And I hope that if you buy one, you feel exactly the same as I do, which is bloody excited and very grateful. So there you go. Take care. For what it's worth, it's my opinion on this one knife, because I can't tell you what the rest of them are like. But go watch a lot of videos and see if there's any difference, because this is stunning. I haven't even used it yet. I've cut paper with it. And it comes, Rosecraft are just renowned for coming sharp. They've already got that reputation where they put an edge on their knife. Look at that. It is just straight out of the box. I've done nothing to this all. You can still see the grind lines. I haven't touched it whatsoever. And I'm not going to until it goes blunt. I'll strop it by all means after I've used it for a bit. But I'm not sharpening it until it goes blunt. And I don't need to. And that I appreciate as much as all the other wee fine details I like. The fact that they sharpen their knives. And if you're worried about China, it's only on that wee sticker. And that wee sticker is full of glue, by the way. But I have, is it off? It is. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is there. It's as easy as that. It comes off. I use a little bit of this alcohol. This is 70% alcohol. And a bit of cloth, and it takes it off completely. And don't worry, it might shine a wee bit more in that place, but after a week or two of using it, it's gone. It's gone, so there you go. Look, thank you very much. I hope that sort of just put in perspective, you know, what these knives and how good they are coming out. This is not a traditional knife. It's using different, the big part of it is it's using that little stop pin that stops this given blade wrap rather than using this here, the little kick on your choil there. And really the rest of it is made like most other, you know, case poker. They're made in a factory. They're made in a process that's animated more than it is hands-on. This one is made by hand, and that separates it completely from this. But you pay for that. If you're not in that sort of category, you can't go wrong in this. Right, I'm gone. I'm gushing, and I've every right to gush because I've got a lovely knife, and I've got it for free. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye now.